Well, hello. I'm Mark Scherer, the CEO and founder of Encompass Life, and I have with me Iggy. He is the CEO and founder of Cloud Med Spas.
That's correct.
And yeah, and Iggy and I have been talking a little bit before our call. And what I get about Iggy is he loves helping people.
I do. I do. Comes with
And
age. You gotta pay it forward.
yeah, and what had you get in this mindset of desiring to help people so much?
Yeah, well, it's funny. I guess it's like anything that you do positively in life gives you more reward probably than you're giving to the other person. When you do something amazing for someone else, I don't know what the chemicals that are going off in your body, endorphins or dopamine hits or whatever, but it makes you feel great. When you do something great for people, it makes you feel great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things I talk about too is um, if you have a lot of karmic, negative, like you say, negative emotions, the
Mm,
fastest way to get rid of karma is to be in the service.
yeah. Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah,
Very said. It's, in some ways, it's a selfish act and not even performative for others. You just yourself, even if you're the only one who knows you did it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the best ones, man.
Yeah,
Get those wins and hold them in and savor them.
yeah, that's right.
So tell
That's
me a little
right.
about your business. What do you do at Cloud Med Spas?
Yeah. So, what we do is essentially we've become an Airbnb for medical space. Now it's been focused on med spas, but it's expanded recently. The idea is pretty simple. It's that in the wellness aesthetics industry, uh, it's going to transition. It is transitioning already, just like hair care did over the last 25 years, where the practitioner has the loyalty of the client. So when people go to a hairstylist, they go to the hairstylist. They don't go to the salon really. And if that practitioner moves, they'll move with them.
Hmm.
And so I saw the stats, it was 95%. And I said, wow, there's got to be other industries like this. Wellness is a particularly cogent one, um, because you develop such a close personal relationship with that proximity and one-to-one face-to-face relationship. So I said, let's do this. Let's build a platform where providers, practitioners, and the vast majority are women. So it's giving them an opportunity to be entrepreneurs. And our top 20% make, I know it sounds crazy, but they make $250 to $300 an hour because the margins in this industry, in the neurotoxin and filler and laser industry, are so high that if the practitioner is getting 100% of the revenue, just paying for their ongoing operating costs, they can make a lot of money and, maybe more importantly, complete freedom over their schedule. Now, they can't necessarily say I can work any day or necessarily, but they can say I'm working Tuesdays and Saturdays, for example, every week, or 3 weeks a month or something. And their clients will find a time to fit in to that broad schedule. So they can set their time, they can have flexibility, they can do all the other things in life, whether it's with friends or spouse or children or neighbors or whatever, and really, I think, have a fuller life with financial flexibility too.
Are you going into these areas and building spaces out specifically for the
No,
client?
we're not. So we did build the two of our own because we were a bit early. That's kind of my curse, that I tend to be early. But over the last 5 years now, we've got 30 locations. 28 of them are partners. These are primarily former med spas, but other wellness practices. That's why I said Airbnb. We have dentists, we have orthodontists who have underutilized space, let's call it that. And they can rent it out to practitioners on a daily or hourly basis and, you know, get revenue from it, just like you would rent out the apartment above your garage. And then we've started to get not just injectors and laser techs renting our space, but just very recently, like weeks ago, we opened it up for other wellness practices. So massage therapists, chiropractors, stretch therapists, estheticians, anyone who, yoga practitioners who want to run their own business at a space that's very high end. And so we've got folks coming on demand side, renters, and we have landlords coming from all different verticals as well.
Gotcha. So the existing dentists or the places we're working with are making money off their dead space.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
They have some underutilized space. I found something very interesting. Orthodontists, the successful ones have 2, 3 locations, and they visit them 1 or 2 days a week. And so as a result, most of the time the space is empty. It's just lying there, but they're paying rent on a monthly basis. So let me turn that empty space into cash.
wow, that's a great idea. Are there other companies out doing the same thing you are now, or?
There are a couple other software platforms that are specifically targeted at a subset of the injector market, and they provide some marketing and other service and software and services like that. But to my knowledge, we're the only one who's taken it one step further and said, let's make this a platform. And again, Airbnb is the simplest analogy to what we're doing. It's not as simple because when you're dealing with neurotoxins or what they call black box products that are controlled substances, you have to have all kinds of regulatory hurdles you go over, all kinds of issues with medical directors, and we handle all that for folks, and keep all those records and all those issues surrounding it. So it's kind of Airbnb for medical space with all the accompanying issues.
Kind of a business in a box for the practitioner and another revenue source for the business owner that they don't have to really do anything for that to occur. Man, what a
Yeah, exactly. You're not renting out your space like to a vacationer, and a vacationer's like an Airbnb. Here you're saying, I've got some medically appropriate space. It's underutilized. Let me rent it out. And then some practitioners that say, hey, I need some space. So we're just kind of
yeah.
matching them up.
Yeah, it's interesting too. They used to talk about having you had to have a win-win, right, to really be successful here.
Mhm.
And what I see you're doing is you're putting together win-win-wins. So the greater number of wins you can stack in a row, the greater your success is going to be.
Yeah, I've been in business now for so long, between my finance career and tech career, that I've learned the key to a successful business is retention. And retention is all about treating them right, providing a great service. Because if you do, they'll come back. So your marketing costs go down, or hopefully to zero.
Yeah, yeah. The word of mouth is always the best advertising.
Yep. Yep.
Um, what 3 things would you like to share with people who either have a space
Mhm.
and would like to contact you, or people who are looking for somebody like you? What would you like to
Yeah.
tell? What message would you
Yeah.
like to give these people?
Yeah. So the ones to rent the space, I mean, we've gone from 2 to 30 in a year and a half or so. So we've got all the tools to make your space um shine. We can make it look great, approach all the practitioners in your area, give you a playbook, not on like a franchise, how to run your business this way. So it's very straightforward, and I would say it's almost surprisingly easy to do because we've tripped over every brick over the last 5 years. The practitioner side, I have a little more um, philosophical and hopefully good advice. I thought this was probably the one hurdle that we've struggled with the most. Fortunately, we have hundreds of providers, so we're making it happen. But I was really surprised, because if I kind of look at the spectrum of wellness providers you can sort of take doctors at one end of the spectrum, and they've run practices and hung out their shingle for generations. And on the other end, you have hairstylists, without being pejorative, but in terms of, let's just call it, at least in terms of training that they have to do. And they've been now for decades running their own store, renting out space from salons, rent to chair. It's 95% of the locations now. So I thought it would be easy in the middle. And what I found, unfortunately, I think for them more than, I mean, it's not great for us, but I think I would wish that they had more confidence in themselves. I find a lot of the what's called mid-levels, that's literally the term in the industry, nurses, physicians assistants, RNs, NPs, that the majority of them lack the confidence. Even though they're well-educated, trained, they lack the confidence to go out on their own. They're right there at the edge of the pool. Water's warm, and they're just frightened of taking that next step. And the funny thing is, they say, well, it's a risk. And I said, well, I don't expect you or encourage you to leave your job. Do this as a side gig. That's why we let you rent by the hour. Rent it a few hours a month or one, or just get going. And yeah, there's just a sort of irrational fear, an irrational lack of self-confidence. It's probably another lesson I've learned, and one I'm not. I don't know if it's probably too politically correct, that men I've found in my career have more confidence than they should have, and I found women have less confidence than they should. They tend to have more skills, more experience, more training, more preparation, but less willing to take the jump.
Testosterone talking,
It's a
huh?
it's a great drug and a dangerous one at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Something real quick about you. What three things you love the most in your life?
Oh, well, number one is my wife. It's my second marriage. Uh, we both made mistakes in our first one, but I made more, and I regret that. But I wasn't the right person for her, I don't believe. But you'd have to ask her. But I know she wasn't the right one. But the woman I have now, uh, I she's my best friend too. I don't know what I would do without her. I really don't. And then my daughter, Kira, that's the next thing that I love the most. I think about her every day. I try to communicate with her every day. Um, and the third thing is just life. I mean, I'm just glad I'm on this side of the grass. I mean, it's so great waking up. I mean, I have an expression. I stole it, borrowed it from a former salesperson of mine who was incredibly successful. And he said, every day is the best day ever. It's the best day ever.
Awesome. I had a
Yeah.
feeling you had a really beautiful, powerful woman behind you. You have
Uh,
this security about you, dude. It's contagious.
yeah, I think I'm behind her. She's in front of me, and
Awesome.
she's that good.
Sure makes life easy. Cool. So,
Or-
for anybody to reach you, what's the best way? What's the best way for people to reach you?
Yeah, mine, Iggy, Iggy, Iggy at cloudmedspas.com. That's the simplest way to reach me. And you can remember me depending on your generation. It's either Iggy Pop
All
or
right.
Iggy Azalea. So Iggy's pop up every 20 or 25 years in popular culture. And
Awesome.
so I'm one of those Iggy's. So
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir,
yeah.
and wish you the best in your business and continue being a trailblazer.
All right, Mark. It's a pleasure talking to you today.
All right.
Thanks for being you.
All right. You're welcome, sir.
All right.